welcome to Updated Autopsy Report, a podcast from Yotsuben and Friends where we replay the entire Ace Attorney series with longtime fans and newcomers. I'm your host, Ben, and with me today is Dessy.
Hello, I'm eating cotton candy.
Okay.
What the?
Cotton candy, just out
It's
of
all
the
over my
gate.
hands.
Okay, well, all right.
We have
You're the
no
one making
objections,
this
Your
weird.
Honor.
Your Honor, what the witness?
There was no response. It's just a mouthful of cotton candy, I guess.
Your Honor, my witness is eating cotton candy. Let her be.
Yeah, and two good friends of ours, Tiago, who you just heard,
Yo.
and Rose.
Hi.
Dessy and I are the longtime fans, and Rose and Tiago are the newcomers. We hope that through both of our perspectives as we play through the series, it'll reveal new details and provide interesting commentary for a series near and dear to us. Today, we have all played the third case of The Great Ace Attorney Adventures, The Adventure of the Runaway Room. How are we feeling, folks, given that this case kind of just tosses you into the mix here after a lot of tragedy and kind of, I don't know, it's like sort of depressing what happens in the last case, and now you just have to immediately get thrown into this, dealing with this asshole.
I think
Well, it didn't involve a train.
no train.
Yes, it's
We were
true.
close
Sad.
though. We were close. I think a carriage
Yeah.
is like kind of like a moving room. It's kind of like a train.
Mhm.
I think this case is sick right off the top. I like it a lot.
Oh, had fun then.
Yep.
Okay.
The Muppets are back.
The Muppets have returned.
It's just Great Britain. The Muppets are back and they're giving me lip.
These Muppets got a lot to say. They've got a lot to say.
They
really
somehow
do.
think they're superior to every other freaking country. I don't know. Muppets.
Yeah. We don't even like start off with the case. That's the craziest part. We do other stuff.
You get like a little walk around, and by a little walk around I mean literally you go right to the Lord Chief Justice's office, and you get just that little bit of preamble with him, and then he's like, "Okay, go do a court case."
Prove yourself.
Prove
So yeah.
thyself.
If you want to get into it, I can go ahead and give us the summary.
Take us away,
Sounds
Maestro.
good. Take us directly from that guy's weird steampunk office to this case.
Rose, you love steampunk.
I do. It was
Okay.
very extra, and I was amused by it.
He's inside Big Ben.
Yeah, he just lives there.
Yeah.
Steampunk is when you unnecessarily live inside Big Ben for no fucking reason at all.
It's so funny. Well, having arrived in London, Ryunosuke and Susato head to the Lord Chief Justice's office to ask permission for Ryunosuke to continue Kazuma's study tour in his stead. There, they meet Male Strongheart, who, in between tightly scheduled meetings, allows Ryunosuke to continue the study tour on one condition. He must immediately go to the Old Bailey courthouse and defend someone who has no attorney and successfully exonerate them. Ryunosuke is shocked by this cavalier attitude towards the case, but after much consternation, he agrees. Upon arriving, Ryunosuke and Susato meet their client, rich businessman Magnus McGilded, who seems to have no lack of money, only defense attorneys. Ryunosuke is immediately a little suspicious of why no one will defend him, and soon learns the reason. The prosecutor is Baron von Zeeks, the Reaper of the Bailey. His reputation is that any defendant he prosecutes is damned. But he has taken a 5-year leave and now decides to come back just for this case. Tough luck, Ryunosuke. McGilded is accused of stabbing and killing thrice-fired Mason in an omnibus late at night. We get several witnesses, such as the omnibus driver, a banker, and a hatter who were riding on top of the omnibus. Additionally, we meet none other than the jury, 6 citizens who will determine the guilt of the defendant. The trial seems to be going very poorly from the start, as every time Ryunosuke attempts to get details about the case, more incriminating evidence comes out against McGilded. The jury unanimously agrees to his guilt, which leads to Susato digging into old legal texts that reveal Ryunosuke is allowed a summation examination, in which he gets one last attempt to convince the jury otherwise. Mechanically, this manifests as pitting jury members' statements against each other to point out contradictions. After reversing several jury members' minds, Ryunosuke is energized, and it's revealed another person was in the omnibus with McGilded and Mason, a young pickpocket. However, before they can continue, a smoke bomb goes off in the courtroom, and a recess is called. Upon returning, the pickpocket Gina Lestrade is called to the stand, and it's revealed that she was hiding underneath one of the seats. But McGilded claims she had nothing to do with the murder, and he hid her presence, from the police to protect her from undue questioning. Just, out of the goodness of his heart. However, her testimony reveals more contradictions, and Ryunosuke attempts to resolve those by proposing a new theory. Perhaps Mason was murdered on top of the omnibus and then fell through the upper hatch down to the first level. Additionally, the omnibus suddenly seems different. Were those bloodstains that prove Ryunosuke's theory here before? Van Zieks asks Ryunosuke to think very carefully about this. With the court now realizing that the omnibus had seemingly been tampered with during the recess, there's no way to prove McGilded's guilt. The court erupts in outrage, and McGilded claps in joy, thanking Ryunosuke for his assistance, seemingly regarding him as a useful idiot. Van Zieks is very frustrated over this and swears to McGilded that this is not over. But McGilded is declared not guilty by the judge, and Ryunosuke's passed his test. But it's an awfully sour note. Lastly, in the lobby, pickpocket Gina is accosted by an anime girl who demands her smoke gun grenade back. They exit stage left.
A fucking League of Legends character jump scared me at the end of this case.
Ryunosuke and Susato wonder where the hell they're going to sleep and stay, because apparently the study tour made no such arrangements for them. So I guess they wander off into the streets of London, unsure of what's in store for them next.
Hey.
So yeah.
So at the very beginning, we meet a very British man. He's like the Supreme Court judge, but he's like the one judge, right? He's like Lord of Law.
The one judge to rule them all.
The one judge
the
to
Lord Chief Justice.
And he kind of reminds me a lot of Chief Gant. And that means I don't trust him. I do not trust him at all. When he does his pose, the camera does like a little Hitchcock pull, and like birds fly behind him in the fucking clock tower, and I'm like, oh, this guy's like low key kind of evil, huh? Well,
they're setting him up right away, huh?
I guess that's a surprise thing we'll have to deal with later.
I mean, he did give me a shot though. We should still kill him, but
he's like challenged to be like, oh, you want to prove yourself to be a lawyer? Do this case. Win or die. Win or go back to Japan.
And he also has like this. You're like, you can say like, I'm not going to do this, right?
Yeah.
Like
yes.
You have an option. You can say, I won't do it because it's not right, or you can say I will do it. In which case, if you choose that, which I did because I said, fuck it, they killed my boy, I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Ryunosuke will still refuse and say, this is morally wrong. And he goes, well, if you don't do it, this guy's going to have no defense.
No friends.
So really, like, he was just going to be left out to dry. So, like, morally, this is the better choice for you. And you're like, okay, man.
Yeah,
kind of weird, and you're kind of right, but I don't like it.
And you also, he's got this pocket watch, and he's constantly timing your answers, not literally, but in the fiction, he's timing your answers and also keeping track of when he has to go to his next meeting, how much time he has for each meeting, with people. And yes, like when you have to choose between the two answers, then again, no matter which one you pick, Ryunosuke kind of freezes up and is like, I can't do this. This is not okay. And Strongheart is just like, 30 seconds too long. All right, well, you're gonna have to work on that. You're gonna have to get those numbers up, big boy. if you want to
Yeah.
do better in court.
You get it because he's timing everything because he lives inside Big Ben. He has a big watch.
And then you go defend him anyway, because then you realize, oh, if I don't defend him, no one will.
The game has to continue.
He has no friends. This guy, 0 friends.
No
Oh,
bitches.
what a poor man. Who could this poor little guy be? Who could he be?
This short king, this Magnus McGill. All right, so here's the thing: is that when
Willy
I first,
Wonka.
you know what, that
Willy
kind of,
Wonka? That was your
you know what's
touchstone for
wild
him.
is that I didn't get there. I didn't think that he was Willy Wonka
Oh.
until just now. Now
Oh my
I
God.
can't-
Okay, what were you gonna say? I need to know.
I thought he was. I think this guy obviously looks like a Layton character, like straight up out of fucking Professor
Yeah.
Layton. But
Mhm.
like, the thing about him though is that when he does like, he has a lot of animations, and one of them is when he like looks away and like tries to cover his face, but you can still see his face. He looks
When
like
he
a
opens his
fucking
hand.
yeah, exactly. So that like he can like kind of gauge your reaction. I feel like he looks like a fucking like old fucking shonen. He looks like a fucking Astro Boy character to me. And like
Yeah, sure. I can kind of
I
see what you're
respect
getting at
that.
there. Yeah.
I kind of love him. This was before I knew that. When we first started out this case, I did not think he did it. At the end of this
Mhm.
case, I am like that clip of Al Pacino going, "That motherfucker's guilty. He should go straight to fucking jail."
He tricked you. He got you.
He actually tricked me. Listen.
I
Obviously,
mean, is it really even that much of a trick, at least in the fiction? Because not
You were
to
gonna
get too
defend him
far ahead,
anyway.
you know, he kind of just says, I just needed somebody to stand in the desk. I
Yeah.
had this whole thing wrapped up, you know, from the start. I had my
That's
own
true.
plans. I
He
just
says,
needed
I'm
you to
gonna
stand there and
defend
fill the hole.
myself.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing was a setup from the beginning, but at the very beginning, I was like, you know what? We, as new lawyers in this country, should help our fellow man. I put my hand on his shoulder and I said, I'm going to get you out of this, Magnus McGilded. And he said to himself, I don't care about this boy.
He was gonna give us money. We really should have taken
You
it.
should have taken the
Dude,
money.
it was 1,000 fucking guineas. Why the fuck didn't we take that? We should
Yeah, I don't know.
Yes,
I
he's
mean,
just-
he's a fun character.
I love him.
I
yeah, he's a
enjoyed-
rich asshole. He's this
Yeah.
Irish businessman, and he's also like, you know, I guess kind of like a bit of a philanthropist in like he founded a park in the city that has his name on it, so that everybody knows he's such a good guy, right? Like that kind of thing going on.
But then you find out his true nature over the course of this case, in which that he's a money-lending extortionist, and he
Fucking loan
robs
shark.
people blind, and
Yeah.
he puts them in debt, and he actively said to himself, like, yeah, you know, in this line of work, people are willing to kill me, and I'm like, should you be saying this in court, man? This is being recorded. One of the jury members is actively recording this.
Oh my God, can we talk about how cute the jury is? I can't
So-
decide if I want it to be all new jury members every single time, or if I want it to be the same jury I think I want it to be all new jury members, and I think I want the foreman to stay the same. I think that's the play. I think that's the funniest way to do it.
Mhm.
I think that it should be a mix, right? Like, only some of them could come back, but then there's new people for them to deal with. So that, like, there's a rotating cast, you know what I'm saying? Because my favorite
Just like
jury
the Let's
member...
Play.
Yeah, there's always somebody new in the rotating guest chair.
My favorite jury member was jury member number 3, the one with the knife.
I was gonna say, my favorite was the exceedingly violent dandy with a knife.
Yeah,
The guy who
I
I
loved
want
him.
to fucking stab him.
He had pizzazz.
I actually thought he did it for a while.
He did have a knife.
He had a knife, and he was actively like, we should kill the rich, they're worthless. And I'm like, huh? Is anyone
He's
else
right.
hearing this?
Yeah.
Is anyone...
Yeah, hey, are we picking up what this guy's putting down?
So, to just be clear for anybody who has not played this case or hasn't looked at anything, you have these six characters who are sitting up top, and they throw their little fireballs into the scale.
They punch the table to make the fireball launch up into a giant, what the heck is that thing called? Scale.
Yeah. But they are all very Muppety, which is very Layton-esque. And it is not like a gameplay mechanic necessarily that can literally change depending on your choices. It is all still scripted, and the story still plays out the way it's always going to.
Mhm.
But you have this extra factor now of these 6 extra voices that can be talking and interacting with witnesses, and sometimes a jury member might ask you a question directly or ask a witness a question directly. The judge might consult with the jury. It's just a whole separate element of conversation, basically, that can come up now during the case, course of the case.
Oh, and I love our new judge.
Yes, with his goofy wig that's sliding off his head constantly.
I saw him and I gasped in delight with his little glasses and his big Santa Claus beard. I love him, and he seems like a pretty good guy, if I'm honest, because he he gives us some time to cook.
Right.
And I appreciate that. He's willing to give me time to cook. Now, maybe evidence got tampered with, so everything was worthless, but this is the first case we've had ever in Ace Attorney where the judge goes, there's not enough evidence. You can't prove he did it.
Yeah, we gotta wrap this up, actually.
Burden of proof is on the prosecution. They goofed,
true.
and we can't prove he did it. I'm thrilled.
The judge is like, all right, so just so you know, Mr. Attorney from another country, also the prosecutor's going to mention a lot that you're from another country. Don't worry about that.
I mean, some of the jury also say a couple questionable things about us as well, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Should we talk about the vampire prosecutor?
The vampire prosecutor. I wanted to real quick go over the 6 jury members, just like a real quick.
Yeah, fair enough. I just got distracted with the judge.
No, that's fair.
I love him.
The first one is just the foreman of the jury. He's the guy who'll just go with the flow, and he just kind of looks like a businessman Muppet. The second one is a maid. The third one's the dandy with the knife. The fourth one is a lady on a typewriter who's literally recording everything that's being said, so I don't trust her that often. The fifth one is the guild master for the carriage bus system. This does come into play because he has personal beef with Beppo, the bus man.
Beppo.
Yeah.
Not Beppo.
Beppo, yeah.
And the final one's a little old lady who says, "I like the park the rich man made," and then vampire prosecutor goes, "The rich man's a con artist," and she goes, "Kill him! Kill him now! Kill him before it's too late!"
Yeah,
I can't condone liars.
I kind of respect
Give
it.
us his head.
And our prosecutor, the Reaper of the Bailey, Van Zeeks, that's a vampire.
That's just a vampire.
Bro, is that just a vampire?
This man does look
funny.
like he jumped out of Castlevania.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure I made some joke about a vampire prosecutor at one point, and everyone was like, "Oh, haha, that would be funny." Little did I know.
That is the moment one of the moments that early on where I had to keep my mouth shut because you were like, "What if there was a vampire prosecutor one day?" And I was like, "Yeah, Rose, haha, what if?"
Haha, funny Rose. Yeah, that's just a fucking vampire.
I mean, he's not literally, to be clear to a listener, he's not literally a vampire, but he is vampire coded.
He's holding the cape.
That boy's straight out of Castlevania.
My man.
I have some opinions on him.
He's out of Symphony of the Night.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. He's a Castlevania character. I like that he is day drinking constantly.
Yes.
Okay.
Big old glass of wine all the time.
Don't like that he has animations, some of which are kind of long.
Doesn't he only take one sip of his drink and then every other one he does either just swirls it or throws it?
Yeah, well, he's constantly pouring himself a new one too, so where's it going while we're not looking at him is my question.
He's throwing it into the...
Wait, you thought his animations were too long?
he has a couple where he pours his wine really slow, wiggles his glass around, and like you're just kind of there like, okay, man. Also, you gotta keep in mind the time crunch I'm playing this under.
Well,
Sure.
That is
my own fault.
Okay, I'm glad we can agree on that notion.
Listen, shit's fucked at work.
Everybody knows shit's fucked.
Everybody knows shit's fucked, especially at my job right now.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I don't know, he kind of sucks.
I think
that's the thing, right? Is like this is a character
said some racist
who,
things.
Yeah, this is a character who I saw, right, and I've seen this character, and I go, oh, this is a very Rose core character. I know she's gonna love
Visually.
his design
I
and all
do
that
like
stuff,
his
but
design.
unfortunately, he's a bit racist against our good friend Ryunosuke and Sasato.
Yeah.
If you type in Google, and I would not advise anybody to do this because this would expose you to spoilers, but if I type in Google Prosecutor Van Zeeks, the first autocorrect suggestion from Google is Prosecutor Van Zeeks racist? Question mark.
Yes! The answer is yes!
I can't believe people had to think about it. It's clear that this guy is racist.
Yeah, and I feel like we are gonna have to deal with a lot of that all of a sudden now that we are in London. Because like I mentioned, some of the jury members make some weird comments. I mean, Van Zeek seems to at least have a general concept of where Japan is located.
Yeah.
That's not really earning him any points, but I guess
that's
something.
My opinion is that if the Muppet jury said something racist, I wasn't noticing because the prosecutor is just overtly racist.
Mm-hmm.
Where
he was talking a lot more about it.
Like, he would say stuff like, even such a small backwater island you're from, and I'm like, brother, come on. Y'all learned about bathing in the last couple 100 years. Like, fucking chill.
Yeah. No, the jury members are like, oh, the demon from the east or whatever, You know what?
I'm actually going to convince that guy that I'm a demon, though. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to teach him.
I'm like, you guys don't even know where I'm from.
Right.
They do bring up the, dark magic thing.
You shouldn't say it.
Yeah.
But that is kind of like, okay, you're a Muppet, huh?
Fucking, oh my god, dude, y'all are, these Muppets have 3 brain cells and there's 6 of them.
Yeah. and there is also some, of course, since McGilded is Irish, there's also some anti-Irish racism that comes in here as well.
I was going to bring that up as well.
So there's straight up a character uses an Irish slur that I am not comfortable using here.
Wait,
against
really?
McGilded, right? Yeah.
I gotta look up Irish slurs.
You do not need to.
Do it on live audio recording.
I don't know what they are. I don't know any.
It's probably for the best,
good.
but it's the kind of thing where they're writing this dialogue as some of these people would behave, right? For the time. It is some of it is stuff that in the moment at this period in history, right? It would not be considered quite as galling, right? But still not good. It's still not great.
It might have been okay for you to say that word back in the 30s, Grandma, but you can't. It's still bad.
We don't say that anymore, and there's a good reason for it.
You shouldn't have
I'm
said
not finding
either.
anything definite, so I probably should stop looking.
I do think definitely that's worth this game is obviously written by Japanese people.
Yes,
they know what they're doing, and they're gonna take me there. So I'm just there to see what happens on
Rose
that
is here for the ride.
front.
I'm here to overturn their justice system because even Van Zeeks doesn't like it because he goes, "This is the folly of the British justice system. They're swayed by emotion and the heart as opposed to the cold hard facts, such as this guy steals money from people and was found in a carriage with a body." Yo, go ahead.
Appealing to emotion also, though, unfortunately, Prosecutor Van Zeeks.
That's the thing, though, right? Is that he does the same shit, just on the other coin.
Yeah. So
Plus,
I don't know. We'll see. I'll see how he turns out.
I
I'm not deploying my formal opinion on him yet.
yeah.
We get a little bit of backstory for him just from other folks talking about him, which is that, like I said in the summary, he's been gone for 5 years for some unknown reason, and he came back just to try to put McGilded behind bars, right? He saw his opportunity and he showed up here and he was like, I'm going to get this motherfucker.
I need to kill you.
And he seems to have because after, we end this court case with McGilded getting the not guilty verdict, Van Zieks is like, this isn't over. I'm coming after you, dude. And, so there's something going on there in that, whether it is just that Van Zieks is after McGilded because he's an awful dude who is engaging in predatory lending, to poor people that are down on their luck, or what. But there seems to be something going on with Van Zieks there and his own motivations, which is fun because immediately you're like, all right, so what else is going on here in this city?
I think Van Zieks killed that motherfucker, but we'll get back to that late. That's a little too late. This actual case is pretty. It's hey, we know him, we love him. It's another locked room mystery, except the locked room is a carriage this time as opposed to a boat. The guy was found opposite our client with our client's knife in his tummy. That's pretty hard to defend against, man. I can't believe he had a plan for that. But nonetheless, our 3 witnesses that we have to break down are a banker, the bus man, and the hat man. I don't feel strongly for any of them except for Beppo. I love Beppo.
Feel so
He's constantly
for
shivering.
Beppo?
He's got his little animation.
Beppo is cold. Someone get him some cocoa. It's inhumane.
My man's did nothing wrong.
He's been upcharging people.
He's old, he's cold.
He's been upcharging people on the bus.
We are not sure he's been upcharging people, if I'm honest.
He admitted to it.
Okay, but yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Here's the thing, right?
Okay.
So if the other guy, I don't fucking know. I'm so confused. I'm so tired.
There's 2 timelines.
Sorry, listeners.
Because they talked a lot about the money situation. They talk a lot about how there was 4. So the bus fare is supposed to be 4 pence. There's 4 of them. It should have equaled 16 pence, but it equaled 20 pence. But there was also a secret 5th passenger. So there's 2 timelines. The one where the 5th passenger was actually charged, and they actually all paid 4 pence each. But the banker and the hatter both admit to paying 5 pence. Therefore, it's more likely that she snuck on and Beppo upcharged everybody. And Beppo admits this because he goes, this is the last bus of the day. It's really cold. And I'm dying. I'm Beppo. And,
I spend all my money on drinks on my way home from work.
I'm so cold. And then juror number 5, the bus guildmaster, is like, Beppo, you scoundrel. You've been upcharging people. And then other people are like, I actually pay 10 pence for the bus on other locations at night. And then the guildmaster goes, oh, how could this happen? So yeah, Beppo was only guilty of skimming a little bit off the top, but whatever. He's cold. It's okay.
Beppo deserves hardship pay.
Beppo deserves a hot cocoa, a warm blankie, and probably less trouble than we were giving him, because he tries to testify and he's like, I saw him stab him, and then you go, did you really, sir? And he goes, no, I was really scared though. We all go, okay, that's fine, man. You didn't have to lie. The banker, who's indebted to Magnus McGilded, has reason to lie. The hatter apparently designed the hat for the fucking victim. And his hat looks like shit, by the way. Do we all think about it? I think his hat sucks.
That's his thing. Is that he's a bad hat maker? Is his bit, right?
Yeah.
His name is
Go ahead.
Lay D First, which means that he has the will of D. And
yeah.
that's from all my One Piece heads out there.
Tiago just
oh my God.
stabbing me in the back.
It's more in the front, really. I'm like directly in front of you.
Yeah, that's true. In the front, like that guy who got killed.
Like the victim.
Yeah.
The thing about Magnus the Gilded is that there's so many times during this case where I'm like, I think he did it. And then new information comes up and he manages to weave his tale, and I'm like, I don't know, everybody. Is this guy really that bad? Like, let's think about this.
Old Magnus McGilded wriggle his way out of this jam this time, folks. Well, nevertheless.
Nevertheless. He gives you like, oh god, I am fucking spacing on the name, but there's a character in Deep Space Nine who is like kind of a money-grubbing bastard, and he's like a villain, objectively. But we all kind of love him because he's got like...
The listeners out there are screaming in the comments.
Oh, hey, give me a second. All right, it's fucking Quark. I had to look it up. He gives me like the roguish, like, I'm kind of a shit heel, but ooh, don't I make you smile? And he does. He does make me smile.
Ain't I a stinker?
And then like
fun. He's very. I definitely started getting a little suspicious of like how fucking slick he was. Because, like, at a certain point, he's, like, on the stand with the witnesses, and, like, if you're supposed to, like, pan to him and, like, ask him questions, and he has, like, the perfect thing to help you every time, and he's all like, hey, 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 and I'm like, okay, wait a second.
Right,
How do you know all this, buddy? What's going on here? I still don't know if he did it. He could have paid somebody else to do it.
That's the thing, though, right? Is that like...
And, like, what's the point of doing it? What does it gain him? There's so many questions.
Thrice-fired Mason must have had some crazy info. He must have had some shit that would have been, like...
Yeah, he must have.
It would have ruined him if he knew. This is probably going to all turn into, like, some kind of crazy real estate scheme. But,
This is the Yakuza
yeah.
Zero.
I mean, think about it.
Tiny lot.
I think this is going to be the tiny lot, because hear me out.
Yeah.
This guy, Magnus McGilded, buys property. Thrice-fired Mason makes fucking property. He's a bricklayer. So it makes perfect sense that maybe Thrice-fired Mason saw something they shouldn't have, and Magnus said to himself, I'm rich. I'll just kill him, and no one will ever know.
I mean, but also, you could just forgive his debts, and you could bribe him. He's poor. He's bribable.
Yeah. No one puts Magnus McGilded in a corner.
I'm not thinking like a supervillain enough.
That's true. You're also not thinking like a fucking scam artist who is from a fictionalized version of London. You are kind of a Muppet, Rose, but you're not this kind of Muppet.
Yeah, I'm a different kind of Muppet.
You're a different kind of Muppet. I like him a lot. What?
Sorry, just the very forlorn. I'm a different kind of Muppet. Just got me.
I am though.
Oh, fucking Christ! I think that I think the most interesting thing about Magnus McGilded is the fact that he got me, the player. You know what I mean? Like, I know that his entire job is weaving lies, but at a certain point, I was like, everybody, look at that smile. Can that really be a bad guy? Is that a bad guy? And then he goes on to say, I've robbed people. And I'm like, damn it, dude, shut the fuck up. Don't fucking say that. I think the main reason I'm for Magnus McGilded is because I'm anti Van Zeeks. I straight up just wanted to win against the prosecution because I was like, alright, this dude kind of sucks across from me. He's getting drunk at the fucking courthouse. Like, I'm
fine with the drunk.
It sounds like everything that the game designers wanted you to feel is exactly what you're feeling. So
that's crazy.
I'm being pulled by their fucking strings.
He put his shoes on the table to make a point that I didn't understand.
Kicking his feet up on the desk.
I'm like, why are your feet on the table, sir? This is a court of law, and you are apparently a nobleman. What the fuck are you? It's not how you should behave.
Apparently, like, every time he does something, like, he breaks a glass or he, like, slams his fist, he's like, I apologize for being uncouth. And I'm like, you know what, dude? You're not forgiven, man. Fucking chill. All right, you don't see me slamming glasses.
Just don't apologize. Just go with it.
True.
You know
fact.
who didn't apologize for being a fucking weirdo? Godot.
I thought you were gonna say Von Karma, but yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you know what? No, I wish we'd gotten to see more of Von Karma being a weirdo, if I'm honest. It's one of my only complaints about the first game.
He tased us.
Yeah, he did, but, like, I would have liked a little more. Like, he just rolls up and tases you, and you're like, huh? What?
Would you like another tasing?
I don't know. Maybe not, but, like, who the fuck is this guy?
Fair enough.
Why is he tasing me?
I
But
think...
like, Godot said weird sexist shit and threw his coffee cup at you, and he never apologized. He just went with it.
You know what, though? I do like Godot more, even though he's a wild sexist. I think about it now, and I'm like, you know what, man? That guy was kind of the goat, though. He had coffee.
Well, I also, like, I know him.
The Godot.
So, like, I gotta see this guy and see what's going on.
Yeah, we haven't had...
You gotta understand his deal.
Yeah, I need to know what's happening. I need to know if he can
information
be fixed.
required.
I don't know. We're gonna see.
And
so far, no information.
Initial impression, is he higher or lower than Nayuta?
I like him. Okay. I don't know, because
I like him better.
You like him better?
I think I do.
Nayuta's like the bottom of like in the ground, total. Like,
okay,
that's where the bar is at with him. Like, I just
Yeah.
didn't.
I mean, this guy is also saying things that I don't love, but that was also Nayuta, right? Like, and he's got like one really long animation that bothered me. But other than that, he's been like...
Now you did that to yourself.
Yeah, I did that to myself mostly. He hasn't been
And it's only been one case.
Yeah,
he hasn't been very annoying. Rose, that's not admissible in court, so...
Damn.
It's not that bad gameplay-wise, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I think
And also, I like his design, whereas I didn't care as much for Nayuta's design.
That's fair. I just want to get an initial...
Just pure aesthetic.
I just want to get my finger on the pulse, you know what I mean? Just see where we're all at.
I'm feeling a little more positive about him, but I still don't have... Still not saying he's a great guy.
Right.
This court case...
You can like a character even if they're a bad guy.
True.
Oh,
the only person in this court... There's only two other people in this courtroom aside from yourself that are, like, decent people, and that is Susato and the judge.
Yeah, no, I like characters that are bad guys. I was just complaining I wanted to see more Van Karma.
True.
The guy's a fucking mass murderer, probably. Who knows?
Going back to the case real quick, I like our camera in this court case a lot because there's a lot of camera work in the game now, which is wild to think that they did this on the 3DS.
Yeah.
We get to
and
stand in different positions. We get different views of the court.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say is because after Ryunosuke kind of starts pressing in these first couple testimonies, almost immediately all of the jury is just guilty, 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 guilty. They go all the way down the line and all say guilty. And at this point, then it seems like the judge is literally about to announce his verdict, 10 minutes into this case. And Susato goes, well, let me look at my little tiny booklet of British law and see what I can find here. Well, I see that you're allowed to give a summation examination after, right before the guilty verdict, you're allowed to say something. And Van Zieks is like, that's old and outdated and nobody does that anymore. And she's like, but did they repeal this rule? And he's like, no. And she's like, then we get to do it.
Gotcha.
So Ryunosuke gets to walk out from behind his bench.
True.
And he just walks around in the courtroom.
Ryunosuke got a lower portion of his body animated.
Yeah, basically, this is not necessarily shocking if you've this is a stereotypical thing for any attorney to do in any other legal media, right? Any other legal drama, TV, movie, whatever. The act of the attorney pacing back and forth as they're giving their speech, essentially, like going like, so now why do you think this, members of the jury, right? The whole pacing back and forth. That's just classic attorney stuff, but it's just now we're actually we've got the resources, we've got the models, we've got the motion capture, all of that combining to actually do that here. And during the summation examination, Ryunosuke walks out from behind the desk and he paces back and forth as you are talking to the members of the jury, and you essentially they each make one statement, and then each of those members of the jury, you have to basically, out of the 6, typically you have to pin 2 of those members like against each other and be like, well, you two think opposing things. Why is that? And start to break things down and switch their verdicts as a result. And this, I think, is really, really fun. How did you guys find this?
Yeah, I liked it.
I'm smarter than any jury member. I'm smarter than them because they're literally saying shit like, that guy paid 16. They paid 20 pence, and then 2 people later they're like, they paid less than 20 pence, and I'm like, do y'all hear each other? Y'all are like
right.
six feet away from each other. What the fuck? Okay, fine.
It's your first time doing this. They got to make it easy so you can get a grip on the mechanic. But yes, it is very funny.
True.
Firmly grasp it.
I think that convincing them that we're smart was good because I am smart and I'm better than the jury. And I know better than they do because I'm the attorney. It's that simple.
Right.
They are Muppets.
They are Muppets. They literally have stuffing for brains. I felt like Van Zeek's being really mad that we're able to talk to the jury is like kind of strange because his whole thing is that he's really scary and he intimidates people, and that's how he gets his verdicts out. But then
like every other prosecutor,
when we try to appeal to basic human emotion, we're like tricksters. And it's like, come on, dude, fucking get your shit together. Like, if you're gonna lose on your own terms. Like, fucking
right.
Christ, dude. I think it's very funny that this British place has a setup where fireballs can be tossed out onto a scale behind the judge, and they.
Yeah, what the fuck is up with that? That was too much for me.
That's British engineering.
This is the part that breaks credulity.
It's too much. This is where I draw the line.
You don't like
everything else has been fine.
You don't like the engineering of like the jury members slamming their fist on the table, a fireball coming from their like. I don't know what the fuck to call it, like a bullet hole, but like I don't know, it's like the gavel or whatever.
I just think like, come on. This isn't how it would be.
They let that guy into the courtroom with a knife, brandished, the whole time.
Yeah, but we have our sword, so we can't say anything.
It's not out.
Okay. I'm just.
I just don't think it would reliably fly in that arc every time. I don't understand what mechanism they're hitting to make it work. Why does it fire? Why is it on fire when it leaves there? Like, I don't know.
Right. I think
what is happening?
Obviously, we cannot.
I think haha, silly Ace Attorney.
Well, yeah. I was gonna say, obviously, we cannot deny the sights that our eyes perceive. But yet, I feel like this
is just a sleight of hand. They're not actually.
This is more of like
this.
a graphical representation, right, of the votes being cast, and not necessarily as literal as it is depicted, right?
So how do we make it easy to follow what opinions these people have?
I mean, they have little black and white, like, I don't know what you want to call it, like banners that go up and down on their chair behind them. Mm-hmm. So they are like illuminated right behind their faces, like with either a black or a white square, essentially, that says whether they're leaning guilty or not guilty at the moment. But yes, it is very funny that literal fireballs are flying out from where they're their desks, right where they're sitting, and it goes into a giant scale with eternally burning fire on either side. How much does that fire weigh? Like, why is it tilting one way? You can't worry too much about
It's
it.
too
But
much.
yes, it's very funny.
Too much. I'm drawing the line.
I think it's all theater. I think it's all for us.
Sure.
I think that.
I mean, here's the
I think
thing,
it's
right?
a silly little
Okay.
tool.
I can almost see where you're about to say, Rose.
At the very end of this case,
I knew it.
at the very end of this case, Magnus McGilden acknowledges the confetti and the fireworks.
Yes.
I hear.
And this has never happened before, and I am shocked. I don't know what to say. That's been real the whole time.
Yeah,
it's real. Shit's real, man.
I mean, I don't know if I had ever shared it with you guys, but there is an old official Capcom comic that depicts. It was made, I think, around the time of the first or second game, in which it depicts Gumshoe spending a very long time
staying up late at night.
Yeah, staying up late at night, cutting up
Hand
all the confetti,
cutting all the
confetti by hand and making it, and then him popping up in the stands behind Phoenix and Edgeworth, running around real quick and throwing the confetti every time the case wraps up.
I mean,
So you have Gumshoe to
that.
thank for that every single time.
So
He's here too.
in the OG trilogy, it was Gumshoe, but in like early 1900s Britain, they had the tech for that. I mean, to be fair,
They put in fireworks. He's like,
It's
damn,
just
I heard they had
paper."
fireworks.
Let's take a step back real quick so we can discuss like the second half of this case, and then we'll go back to the fireworks thing, because we do have to talk about the fact that there's a little blonde
Yeah.
kid now.
I'm sorry, I got distracted again.
No, I get it. There's fire. I get distracted when I see fire. It makes sense.
I love fire.
But like,
Some of us have ADHD, and by that I mean I think
That's the kind of
3 of
Muppet
us
I
have
am.
ADHD.
I don't have that one. I have a different anagram, or is it? I don't know. It doesn't matter. The point being is that
They are very close hand in hand. Like,
I haven't discussed my anagram on the internet. Don't dox me. We're moving on.
I didn't say anything.
So here's the thing: is that this case is about like a buggy, right? Well, we fucking have the buggy. The buggy's in the fucking courtroom. They brought the buggy
It's
into the courtroom.
in the courtroom. This is so funny as well.
I
This
love
year,
that the buggy's in the courtroom.
The fucking bus.
You can rotate it in 3D.
You
in
can
your
rotate the
mind.
bus. The back of the bus says Phoenix Wright Bus on it.
It does.
What? I can't.
Would you like to know? It says that in the original Japanese version of the game as well.
Okay, so that's just a fun little Easter egg.
That's just a fun little gag. They just, in the original Japanese version, they were like, we're going to make a reference to the English localization of our games.
Oh.
I
You
think
know, they're
that's
just
real
like, oh,
sweet of them.
Wouldn't that be cute? We're going to put Phoenix Wright on here, on the back.
Well, now
you
it's
know?
created an awful time paradox, and I can't handle
It's
that.
yeah. Now you're like, wait a minute.
I think it's fine.
Is Phoenix Wright a bus?
Phoenix
mean,
Wright.
Nobody liked that.
I don't
That man's
know.
been hit by a lot of cars. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie.
He
He's gone
lived
through a
because he's
lot.
so sturdy.
Yeah.
Because he's a bus.
I could accept this interpretation.
Because he's a bus.
We get to go inside the bus. We get to go on top of the bus. We get to fiddle with the bus. I, as a good lawyer, investigated every inch of that bus, and that includes lifting up the seat to see what was in there at the beginning.
Mhm.
And I saw that there were funny tools in there, and I said,
There was stuff in there.
weird stuff, man, but okay, not mine. And-
Why wouldn't it let me investigate the stuff?
Well, because the stuff wasn't
thought-
relevant.
Well, I thought it might be, so I kept trying.
Okay, well, it wasn't, so don't worry about that. Then
But
something strange happens where, we go through the testimonies of each of the people, and they say, I saw the person next to the person, and then we go, well, no, because they're positioned differently, and you're sitting in a weird spot. I think there was a fifth person on the bus, and they go, that's poppycock. There's
Second
no
oil.
way that there is another person, another passenger.
Absolutely impossible. Definitely couldn't have happened.
Anyway, we prove that there's another passenger. We so fucking prove it. It's so easy to prove. We're so smart. And Magnus McGilded goes, "Alright, you caught me. There was another passenger. I didn't want them to get involved, though, because they're so little and so young." And we go, "Wait, what do you mean?" And they go, "Yeah, I didn't want a little street urchin to get involved." And I'm like, "Oh god, how young is this fucking kid?" Am I about to accuse a fucking 15-year-old of killing this guy? Because if so, I'm not going to be happy about it.
I was worried it was going to be younger. I was like, no more 12-year-olds accused of murder, please.
No, the younger child won't show up until later in the court case. Anyway, a smoke bomb goes off. We have to evacuate. And I go, something weird's going to happen in this smoke bomb, isn't it? And then we fucking go to the cut. We come back, and there's a new witness who's a little blonde pickpocket by the name of, I've already forgotten, she's a little blonde pickpocket. What's her name?
It's Gina Lestrade.
Yeah, would you like to take this one, Rose?
What the fuck? Okay, so...
Why are you so sassy?
So, Lestrade is a character in Sherlock Holmes. He is a detective at Scotland Yard. He is a cop. He regularly... He often gets, like in adaptions, he tends to be the guy that people put as, like, the cop that asks Sherlock Holmes for help. But there's actually a couple other guys as well. And Lestrade is just like one of the 3 like detectives at Scotland Yard that keeps showing up and asking Sherlock Holmes for help. So I'm like, why the fuck is she Lestrade? Does her father know where she is?
Called shot. Her father is the cop who does ask Sherlock for favors, and that's why she hates adults.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
But he is one of the top detectives at Scotland Yard. Like, he is not just a beat cop, you know?
That makes sense.
But yeah, he's a pretty regularly reoccurring character in Sherlock Holmes and has pretty decent name recognition for anyone who isn't Sherlock Holmes, Watson, or Irene Adler, who, sorry, was only in one story. Everybody shut the fuck up.
Whoa. You know what? Actually, I'm on my client side. Actually, shut the hell up. Shut the hell up.
I like the Irene Adler story a lot, A Scandal in Bohemia, and I think it's great, and I think everyone looked at that and went, "Ah, sweet. I'm gonna make a lot of hay out of nothing."
Holy shit.
I'm sick of it.
I love this.
I support my client wholeheartedly.
Oh, yeah. The femme fatale. Wait, she's married. Shut up.
Wait, you can be a femme fatale and married.
Yeah, but she's not banging Sherlock Holmes, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
No disrespect to the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes movies. Please keep doing what you're doing. You're fine.
Okay.
More or less.
I believe in you.
Thank you. You should.
But yeah, we have Gina Lestrade. She's 17. She is a pickpocket. She has a big brass gun that is shooting out smoke bombs that she keeps loading in the courtroom and firing off.
She stole that
long animation.
Yeah.
She stole that
Which
shit.
the characters comment on how long that animation is, so I'm not just being...
Yeah.
Not just being a fucking
damn, it
grumpy
takes a long time to load that gun, huh?
I think it's incredible that she straight up lifted that shit and she straight up said, "Yeah, I stole this," and we're all like, "Bro, this is court. Fucking keep your mouth shut. I don't care about that. Did you or did you not kill this fucking guy?" And she goes, "No, I was in the box the entire time." And Magnus McGilded goes, "I swear she was, because I sat on the box the entire time, and therefore she cannot be the killer." So I
kind of believe her.
I believe her. Yeah, she has no reason to lie.
Yeah.
We believe women.
We believe women.
We believe women sometimes.
I'm thinking of that tweet that's just like, if a woman told me to believe it, something I simply would, and then another, a woman tweets underneath that goes, "I think you should have more convictions," and he goes, "Yeah, you're right, my bad." That's how... it's so fucking good.
I'm so sorry. Every time I see that, I think of you.
What?
Oh no!
Jesus
Tiago got.
So sorry.
Jesus.
I didn't expect you to read me like that. Holy shit. Okay, well, you know what? I'll take that to heart. You know, fine, fuck it.
You should, so what I'm saying is that you should have more conviction.
Yeah, you're right. My bad. my bad. I will have more conviction.
All right, glad we sorted that out.
So, the thing that like pretty much, so we can all agree that what happened was when she fired the smoke grenade that caused everyone to evacuate the courtroom, the buggy was definitely tampered with because a new bloodstain shows up, and all the shit that was inside the seat disappeared. But because Van Zieks
Do you
goes,
think they
this
do you
was
think they swapped it?
the whole
The
buggy.
whole fucking
The
thing?
whole buggy?
No, absolutely not. They cannot just swap a
Okay.
whole buggy. That's
I don't know.
No, because then they'd have to like recreate the blood
That's what
scenes.
Mind Freak says.
Okay, yeah.
Here's my logic: is that I do think they just planted blood and removed the horse stuff, but I wonder why, right? Because like, if the pickpocket was underneath the seat in the actual events that occurred, the stuff that was there when we showed up wouldn't have been there, right? Like, there's no way they would have found all the horse accoutrement that Beppo
Yeah.
pet in the thing, because the blonde girl says, I threw that shit out, like I do every time. So, was the original buggy tampered with? That
Oh, we should turn our thinking around.
we should turn our thinking around.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to come back to this case, but not with this buggy because of something that happens later. But, you know, eventually the whole conversation gets so confusing, and Magnus McGill is like, who cares if the evidence was tampered with? It's right here, right now, and that's what matters, right, my attorney? And I, as a good boy, told everybody, hey, man, I don't remember seeing that bloodstain, or this buggy's definitely kind of weird, man. I'm not gonna lie about it. I can't tell a diss on. I'm gonna be fucking Jiminy Cricket about it with y'all. I think that this thing was tampered with. And Van Zieks definitely goes, I didn't expect a member of another race, to be honest. And I'm like, damn, dude, chill.
He's like, wow, okay, you're
Fucking
smarter than I
Christ.
thought. And I'm like, coming from you, this isn't great, man.
Yeah, like, oh my god, dude. Like, come
That man
he
took
also-
the bar, dug it up out of the ground, and hit you in the fucking face with it.
Yeah. I mean,
He
when
keep-
you do the honorable thing and you're like, I won't lie. So he's like, okay, interesting. I'm like, all right.
Right.
Okay,
He does
man,
keep
whatever.
calling you my learned friend, right? Which
Yeah.
obviously is just that's just how like an old fashioned way for legal attorneys to refer to each other, right?
I
if
thought
you-
it was like this-
especially if
I thought it was like the Southern bless your heart thing, right? Where like it sounds like a compliment, but it's really like go to hell.
well, here's the thing. It is the old-timey way to refer to other attorneys, especially when you might not know their name off the top of your head. You just say, "Oh, my learned friend," or "My learned friend over here," right? You know. But the way he says it, it does sound like, yeah, my learned friend over here, right? It starts to sound more like a diss the more he says it, right?
Yeah, no, that shit was like
Well, you know,
Ca-
at least he switches calling you that.
Yeah.
Something.
Then, yeah, instead of something worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's only a matter of time till he pulls out some kind of old timey slur, and I'm like, I actually need to look up a thesaurus. Like,
I mean, he kind of do though.
he kind of do though.
Yeah, he comes out swinging with some fun words.
I think I think we're gonna end up killing him. I think it's only a matter of time till one of us takes his life. I think Susato's.
He does look
Susato
like-
breaks.
He looks like he could die tragically, and that would be okay.
He straight up says like, "This is the stake through the defendant's heart" or something like that. I'm like,
Yeah, whatever.
come on, dude! Like, you can't just say that shit.
Actually, you can, but like, I need you to be like a little bit cooler about the fact that I just got here.
El Racista over here is fucking saying some shit I can't deal with.
Because like, if Simon was saying that shit, I'd be like, hell yeah, Simon, go for it.
That's because Simon has
Weirdo.
his own weirdo shit going on. And so, like,
Yeah.
we can't fuck...
Simon also weird about Japanese stuff, just differently.
Yeah.
Just in the opposite
The
direction.
complete opposite way, yeah.
Yeah.
Just like kind of a weeb, but like,
Yeah.
you know,
He is a weeb. Straight up.
yeah.
Uh,
Not so bad that you're like, hey man, this is like uncomfortable how much of a weeb you are, but like also, can you stop?
Yeah. Put your Malkatana down, please.
Yeah.
I mean-
just it's not safe to wave that around. I'm not bad. Just put it down.
he does eat authentic Japanese food.
Oh, I wish that
Yeah.
was
When he
No.
can, when he can find it.
He only finds it
He's
one
not in prison.
when he's not in prison. In the clink. So we tell the truth about the fact that we think the buggy was tampered with, and then McGilded obviously loses his fucking lid because he's like, "You're my fucking attorney. What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I am your attorney, respectfully, sir, but also it'd be pretty dumb of me to say like I don't think this was tampered with when it was clearly tampered with. Like, I want to win this case.
It would be extremely American attorney of you to just do that.
I want to win this case so I can show Van Zeeks up. But if I do it while cheating and he calls me out on it, I'm going to take the fucking heat for that. Not you.
Yeah, if he knows that I cheated, that is worse.
That is objectively worth. There's a timeline where 100 years from now, a relative of mine will go through that, and he's going to get fucking boned because of it. So I'm not going to go down that route. I'm not going down like that. So fucking, we're going to win this thing fair and square, because I am that guy. I'm him. Alright, Magnus, fucking chill. So, he doesn't like that, and he does throw a tantrum, but then it doesn't matter, because then he starts accusing the other fucking passengers of killing this guy.
Yeah.
I love that Magnus McGilded...
He's really good at it too.
Magnus McGilded at a certain point said, "Alright, my attorney isn't representing me very well. I'll do it." And then just starts accusing people in the fucking witness room.
Yeah.
It's kind of sick.
And it kind of works because, yeah, Rinosuke found the blood on the floor of the cart and on the sliding skylight window right at the top, which implies, if you take it as legitimate, that Mason could have been stabbed and then
stabbed him up top,
fell through the skylight onto the floor, right? Because Gina hears a thunk, like a really loud thunk, and cries out, and that's how Magnus says that he found her. So you kind of have all these things line up, but it's thanks to really, shall we say, spurious evidence. and yeah, Magnus is not happy about you just kind of being like, I don't know, man.
I don't know.
It's very his animations are also they're very wacky. They're probably the most motion capture animations in this segment, because he like starts stomping his feet and then
Like he's literally throwing a temper tantrum.
Yeah, and like wildly throwing his hands around and kind of clapping, when he's laughing then later. But yeah, no, it's fun because you kind of are like, oh, I guess maybe this guy really did do this, and the whole court's like, maybe he did, but we can't prove it. So the judge is like, I guess I kind of toss this one out.
And
I've definitely had to fight through a conviction for less evidence than this.
Right.
Like,
Right.
I can't believe they were doing a better job back in like ye old like fire catapult racism time.
not over the catapult thing, huh?
It was too much. It was a little too much. Everything else has been fine so far. Except
Is it because the
for-
animations were long?
No.
No.
I just thought it looked silly. Now, if it had been like, say, a series of tubes, perhaps.
Like a vacuum
Yeah.
tube system.
You like steampunky?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, just a little something with a little more like mechanical comprehensibility. Because I'm sorry, I'm just not seeing how it's working. And
Rose is not happy about this.
no, it was too much. Immersion broken.
Well, it's a good thing it's broken now because the case is over. Magnus gets out, and they shoot the confetti and the fireworks, which I think is kind of insane to do indoors. That's
I think it slaps. That's fine.
the fireworks is okay. It's indoors.
That's fine. I never said that the fire catapult was a problem because it was indoors.
Oh, okay. I was concerned about fire safety, but I see you.
Victorian England, not super concerned about fire safety.
True. Facts. We go out into the fucking...
Their bridge can attest to that.
Shut up!
They also just, like, I don't know, love cooking orphans alive in the misery factory, so...
Yeah, but that's how we get all our misery, so we can't close the factory down.
Yeah, it would
ruin...
be right.
It wouldn't be right.
Think of the people that wouldn't have the things.
Exactly. Yeah. We go out into the defendant lobby. Magnus McGilded is like, all right, good job defending me, man. Do you want 1,000 guineas? And the idiot says no, and I'm like, brother, we fucking need that money to live.
He gives us like 2 guineas too, which is not like terrible.
No, but it's not enough for a sick house. Like, we could have had a house. We could have had a fucking house, man.
Yeah, Susato does the conversion later, and she's like, we should have taken that money, Ryunosuke. We could have bought a mansion. And he's like, what?
What? I like this part a lot because now the like little blonde pickpocket kind of is like trailing with Magnus McGilded, and I'm like, is that your assistant, McGilded, sir? Because my assistant could beat up your assistant.
I mean, here's the thing: is I kind of like Gina.
I like Gina too.
I kind of think I feel like her character design maybe doesn't speak to me now, but is the sort of thing that I would have drawn when I was 15 or 16 or 17.
I definitely don't think that Gina's
like
arc
that.
is over because a little child kidnaps her. And
a
Bazooka Point
chibi appears.
Chibi Moon from
yeah, Chibi Usa does appear. Yeah,
I it's almost like I couldn't even focus on everything else that happened in this case because I just got flashback.
It's kind of strange.
This little girl with pink pigtails that are like curly cues that go down into heart shapes, and she's got like a big petticoat type deal on, and she's carrying a brass bazooka.
She's got like goggles.
Yep, she's got goggles and stuff.
She's
very
like,
steampunk.
She's kind of steampunk looking, yeah.
But like she seems like she's from a different steampunk than like what we've been looking at so far.
She reminds me of Codename Steam. And
yeah.
I don't like that.
That's a pull.
I don't like that. You know what I mean? Like, I looked at her and I straight up went, what's that? Like, what the fuck is that? What is she?
I kind of wish that I could go back to before I saw this so I could have this emotional whiplash again.
What?
It hit pretty hard, if I'm honest.
I will say this is the most anime character design in this entire pair of games.
Yeah, I could have guessed that.
I fucking hope so, because I couldn't imagine the alternative.
So like, she's here and she goes, "Hey, that's my smoke grenade gun. Give me that back." And Gina goes, "No," and then she pulls out a bazooka and she says, "Give me my gun back." So she pulls out
a bigger gun.
And she goes, "Okay."
The bazooka has like a little heart on it also.
She goes, "Okay, you've won this round." And then she tells Gina, "You have to come back and apologize now. I'll see you later." Here's my like thing, is that I feel like I've definitely seen art of this character before, but I somehow completely fucking forgot about her because I was like, maybe that's just too much. Maybe I thought it was a dream or something, like a hallucination. But
I wouldn't see that character and go, that character's from Ace Attorney. Or even that character's from Great Ace Attorney, the one I don't know anything about. Which is to say I don't know anything about any Ace Attorney, but still.
So, like, I think that she's somehow related to Herlock Sholmes and all the gadgets that he makes because she's dressed in like the same gadget style. So like,
Oh, she's making his gadget.
yeah, but that only means one thing, and that
What
means
if she's Herlock Sholmes?
That's
What was Tiago's theory?
I actually need to fucking sit down for a second.
I'm so sorry. I've been out of control all night.
Here's my thing, is that I was just gonna go on a tirade real quick about how Herlock Sholmes is so inept he can't even make his own tools. He has to make a child do it. But I now have the what if this fucking kid's Herlock Sholmes? I don't know if I can really come to terms with that knowledge. I hope to God.
I mean,
that
don't come to terms to it too much because it might not be true at all.
I know, but Rose, if this happens, I'm holding you responsible.
Let me go back in time and I'll have them fix it for you.
I have to see Herlock eventually. He's somewhere in this fucking town waiting for me.
I'm surprised we haven't seen him yet.
The everywhere Herlock system is fucking waiting for me. I have to I can't fucking deal with this guy. Anyway, we leave off. Magnus McGill.
I feel like you guys are having emotions about characters in this game that I had emotions about characters in older games.
What did you have a character you hated, like a fucking nemesis? Who's your Herlock?
I mean, Nayuda.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, Jess and I did hate Nayuda a lot.
I hate Nayuda, but only because I think his biggest crime is being uninteresting.
Well, the thing that Herlock has made me laugh multiple times.
Herlock's biggest crime is that he's a trickster god, and I want to kill him. I personally want his head on a mantle, but I didn't want Nayuda's head on a mantle. I just viewed him as like he's like an obstacle. That dude might as well have been a traffic cone.
I mean, we came up with like a better plot story for him on this podcast, just improving after watching the part 1 of the Dune movie. Like,
yeah, no, if he turned out to be the Kwisatz Haderach, that would have mattered way more.
Yeah, like we came up with something more interesting that easily. Whereas, like, with Herlock, I'm like, yeah, I could not have come up with this. Keep it up.
He's a goofy goober.
He's a goofy goober. So now we've left off with a bunch of weird things occurring, but also Magnus McGill says, oh, they're going to reinspect the buggy. I, as a good citizen, said I was going to wait here. And I go, okay, man, good luck with that. I'm going to go find a hotel room, I guess, because I wasn't smart enough to accept your massive amount of money. And then we leave, and then an anime cutscene occurs, and I'm like, wow, an anime cutscene. I didn't expect that. And the fucking buggy's on fire?
And the judge is there in, like, his fucking bathroom? Is he sleeping here?
Does the judge live here?
Yeah, the idea that the judge just lives at the courtroom and he has a little bedroom where he tucks himself in for the night.
Okay, listen, Rose, is there, this is, I don't know, Rose will probably feel this for me. That didn't, like, hit me the same way because I was raised Catholic, and Catholic priests usually live, like, on the church grounds.
Well, yeah, but he's a judge.
Yeah, but it's like one of those things. Like, I'm like, oh, I guess it's not that weird.
Okay, I mean, I'm accepting that. I'll take it.
No, I think it's pretty fucking weird if this dude lives here.
Yeah, if he were a priest, I would be like, well, of course.
No, this church isn't religious. We've already proven that. The judge is here in his bedtime robe, and also Zeke's is here because he's working late. I think the most terrifying part about this buggy being on fire is the fact that there's someone in it.
Yeah, there's somebody banging on the door.
Oh.
So, like, the over-under, like, on that being Magnus is what here, do we think?
If it's Magnus, I'm not, like, shocked, but I do have more questions.
Oh, what if he's faking his own death?
Just like Herlock Sholmes did.
Yeah.
You know, I was really hoping you'd like shoot that joke down, actually, but the fact that you agreed with it somehow made it worse for me. I don't know how.
I mean, he does fake his own death. Well, actually, he dies and then Arthur Conan Doyle is forced to revive him due to pressure from his editors.
Due to the fact that he needs to eat to live and needs money.
I probably would have. I don't know.
You think that if he needed that fucking Arthur Conan Doyle money, and that's where we leave
I feel
off.
like he was probably good for life.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely like, since Van Zieks was like, McGilded, this is not over. Like, and his name is Reaper of the Bailey, right? There's this kind of a little bit of a, I don't know, an implication that like no matter what, somehow the Reaper gets his guy, right? Even if it's, you know, quote unquote, through supernatural means or just happenstance, you know, that, you know, something could happen anyway to McGilded, right?
Mm-hmm. What do you think happened?
But I can't answer that question, and you know that, man.
You can't tell us.
I
think he's,
The longtime fans, unfortunately.
I think he's dead in that buggy. I think the weird little chibi League of Legends characters, the real Herlock Sholmes. I think.
I swear to God, if she is the real Herlock Sholmes, I'm gonna shoot the guy in the head. I think.
I think maybe the alternative is there's a third character we haven't met who is the real Herlock Sholmes.
Like,
I'm not sure what's funnier.
If there's
the real Herlock Sholmes please stand up?
Yeah.
I was thinking about saying that, and then you got there first.
Obviously, this game is playing a little bit with the established, I don't know what you want to call it, the established stories of Sherlock Holmes. I almost said the established lore, and I was about to punch myself. The established stories of Sherlock Holmes,
Sherlock
right? It's
lore?
playing, yeah, it is playing with those a bit.
Sherlock Holmes.
Because obviously, you know, we had Wilson die in the first case, right?
Yeah.
So just in some ways, things are up for grabs, and obviously, Sherlock also himself seems like a complete dunce of a man, or at the very least, a guy who is willing to mess with you liberally, right? So yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see how the rest of this shakes out for some of these other characters, you know, via you know, this weird pink-haired anime girl or Gina Lestrade or any of these characters, right? There's a lot of ways that things could go, and I'm curious to see how you guys will react to it. But yes, things are on fire in the courtroom.
I swear to God, if this little pink-haired girl somehow turns out to be a Watson, I'm gonna lose it.
No.
You don't think she's a Watson? I feel like
she could be.
She could be a Watson. Like Herlock is in the market for a new sidekick, considering that his old one, you know, bit the fucking dust. So
I'm mad. I'm actually choosing not to accept that. I'm deleting it from my mind.
You'd rather prefer that little girl's Herlock Sholmes?
No, I just don't want Watson to be dead.
Oh, Watson's dead as fuck, bro.
Nope.
Wait, that was the first Rose. We were there.
Nope. Well, sorry, I can't hear you. I disconnected my mic.
My mic. Wait, hold on.
Okay.
Oh no, my mic.
Okay, well, we'll never know.
Yep.
Oh, my mic's back. Yeah, we'll never know. Anyway.
Yeah.
Christ.
Oh man. All right. Well, I think unless you all have any other last thoughts, I think that'll do it then for this episode.
Yeah, I should stop before I get absolutely out of my mind, as opposed to mostly out of my mind.
I think that kid's gonna show up again, and I don't like that.
I mean,
yeah,
you'll have a copy of the game. You can look at the box art.
I can look at the box art, actually. Hold on.
I have a digital copy of the game. I don't have box art.
Oh, okay. All right. You have a little tiny icon on your
You have the
Switch?
icon when you pull the game up.
Wait,
Listeners, I'm looking at the box art, and I have terrible news to report.
What do you have to report?
The pink-haired anime girl is on the box.
No!
And she is on the box with Herlock Sholmes.
Jesus Christ.
They are together.
Oh no.
Oh no.
No,
wait, now I know who some of these characters are. Wait a second, who's this other girl?
Don't worry about that. Don't look at that.
Don't look too closely at the
Who the
box
fuck are
art,
these
but-
people?
Stop looking.
Is that a dog?
Is that a dog?
Is that a dog?
Is that a dog?
Very funny. Yeah.
That's a weird looking fucking dog.
I don't know. It looks really weird. That's scary.
That's scary. That's scary.
Yep.
I don't know. That's
All
scary.
right. Well, folks, that'll do it for us this week.
It sure will.
You can keep up with the show via our website at updatedautopsy.report, which will keep it'll give you links to all of our social media accounts and everything we do, podcasts. All of our Let's Plays are at youtube.com/@Yotsuben. And you can follow me on all social media, also at Yotsuben. Dessy, where can people find you?
I finally got to Endwalker in Final Fantasy, so you can catch me in Charlian.
Congratulations.
That's where you're gonna
Tiago?
find us.
You can find me at Tiago S. Dutra on Twitter. Linktree in bio.
And Rose.
You can find me at Rose Nonsense on various social media websites such as co-host and/or Tumblr. And you can also find me waiting for the Red Line shuttles. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for listening. We hope that you will rate and review us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Those reviews, again, really do help us out. Next time, we will be playing the first half of The Adventure of the Clouded Kokoro.
Kokoro.
You know what? I read that title, and then somehow you.
That doesn't sound like a Sherlock Holmes.
That
title
doesn't
to
sound
me.
like
That
a
sounds
Sherlock
different.
Holmes story. Rose, is that a Sherlock Holmes story?
This one's kind of vague, if I'm honest. Nothing's jumping to the top of my mind, and it's just kind of...
So wait, what is it called again?
The Clouded Kokoro.
The Clouded Heart? Is there one called the Clouded Heart?
Nothing's jumping to mind. There's a lot of Sherlock Holmes stories.
True.
Don't worry.
I have read
don't-
zero Sherlock Holmes, so this is interesting.
It
to hear
might be.
these
I
from
just
you.
have to think about it.
My little hint will be, not only will there be some more Sherlock Holmes references next case, there will also be some other literary references next case.
Oh my god.
I love literary references.
Dracula's gonna be there.
We shall see how all that shakes out. then.
Nosferatu.
Nosferatu.
All right.
Mary Shelley's
y'all next time, then.
Frankenstein.
Nope.
Sorry, bye.
Bye-bye.
I can't even wrap things up.
We're so sorry.
It's fine. Okay. That's good.
The podcast is over. Everybody
That'll
go.
do it.
Oh, was that the rap?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going. I'm sorry.
We
Go.
fucked it up.
Okay, got it. Yep. We're good.